Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. It is Tuesday morning, August 25th, 2020. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, it is the last week of August, and under no circumstances at all is it a normal August where we are heading into a happy Labor Day weekend and everybody's ready to unwind the summer into getting back to normal. There really isn't a new normal right now. Who knows how soon that will come. However, the market did start to trade from a day trading perspective yesterday like it is the end of August. We had a really solid first 90 minutes of the day yesterday, first couple of hours, and then the market and the volatility just got sucked into a vacuum and just kind of dried up in the afternoon. And that is what happens the last week of every August. I would actually venture to say that under normal circumstances, the last week of August is actually slower than the last week of December. However, we're not in a normal market. We are not in a normal world by any stretch of the imagination. So there is plenty of opportunity that we can take advantage of right now. Apple's still heading higher. Apple had a little bit of profit taking yesterday, but still absolutely should be in your list. We have a couple of good tech stocks that we're watching as well. We're going to start out taking a quick look at the market. We're going to take a look at SHLL and a call that we made yesterday, and possibly a new trade in that stock and what's actually going on with it. Some positive comments coming out between the U.S. and China relations, which is always very quick to make the market move in one direction or the other. That should be perceived as good news. The market's actually flat right now, doing nothing. It's not the worst thing in the world either. What that means that we're not fighting one of these big gap up and gap down where the market just goes sideways or your stock goes sideways, which is probably the biggest complaint that we're hearing right now from new traders or people coming into the community. How do I trade these big gaps and feel confident? There's absolutely ways to trade them. It's just a question of you really need that structure of price action, understanding how to read the tape, understanding when it's okay to dip your toes in these stocks that have had monster moves, and then using a very specific level to determine your potential profits on those trades. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to take a look at the charts. By the way, if you like these videos, definitely click down and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you want to join me for the next 30 days, click down and learn about how to be in the boot camp. I'd love to see you in the community as well. So let's head on over to today's ideas. We're going to start out with taking a look at the market first. And we're going to look at the SPY. Obviously, another bullish gap on good news over the weekend. You can see where we are to what was the previous all-time high, and we are kind of neutral right now, nothing going on. But really, the bottom line is you have to continue to trade long. There's no reason in the world to be looking at a short sale. Some of the COVID stocks actually traded lower yesterday. They were actually the first stocks that seemed to have a decent push to the downside, other than FSLY, which a couple of days ago, I think it was last Thursday, just absolutely exploded with a vengeance. And the last 2 days kind of came back to normal. This is all news related. You can see the stock just got clobbered on earnings. And I'm not looking to actively trade it because the short sales you can see here, which we called out about a week and a half ago, we said, watch any of these stocks that have been just barely breaking support have been screaming back in the other direction. You can see we got that happened in one quick day here, but not a trade there, just more pointing out price action so you can get an idea of how to mold some trading ideas. SHLL, Tortoise Acquisition Corporation, they actually have news where they're actually coming out with a second offering prior to the first offering actually being all completed. So it's interesting that they have another deal going on while this one's still unfolding. I actually called out yesterday in the community that if you were swing trading or actively trading the stock, not holding it as an investment, that yesterday would have been a day that I would have been looking to book profits. Up 4 times the normal volume. The stock has doubled in just over a week. I don't know about you, but from a trade perspective, at the very least, you'd be looking to move up your trailing stop. The only downside to that is if the stock opened lower today and pushes lower, you're going to be one of the people chasing available bids. If the stock pulls back, that's just the way I trade. If you held it overnight, no problem with that, but that's how I manage this position. Groupon is actually one that's super interesting as well. We called it out about 10 days ago over here the first time, and we said, not yet, not yet, not yet. So now we got a push and a pause, and another push again. This stock absolutely should be in your list. It's getting attention, and you can see the level it needs to clear and how much room it has to go. potentially up to $60 if it can clear the $35 level with some vengeance. And you can see that could actually happen today. Apple is one that has to be in your list every day with the stock split coming up in just over a week. Looks like it's going to be right around $500 on today's open, maybe a little bit less than that. I would not be looking to initiate a new swing trade after the stock has just rallied roughly $50, maybe $60 over the last 4 or 5 days. I would be looking for at least one-day consolidation. However, that does not mean that we can't be day trading it. Absolutely aggressively day trading it. There is money to be made in this stock if you're on top of it. Run and VSLR triggered our swing trade yesterday. Hopefully you've been involved with this one. We've been watching this one for about, you can see on the charts here, for about 2 weeks. And I'll just pull up VSLR. You can basically superimpose those charts over each other. If you initiated the swing trade with us, we were looking for it to clear 48.50. Comfortably got over 48.50. Looks like it's going to open up higher again here today. So basically the next move that we're looking for is roughly a $10 move from 48.50. So we're looking at 58 and change. So anywhere between 55 and 58 would be the target. Obviously it's a 51, but 58 would be the ideal price level there. CAR is an interesting one that is not necessarily tradable yet, but you can see here this level is an area, 34.35 is a level that if it can clear this level, then we're looking at 52. And this is, again, one of those stocks reacting to the economy. Is the market getting back to normal? I want to make it clear, I'm not trading it yet, but a good trader anticipates the next entry. So you need to have alerts in this stock set for over 35, let it close above 35, maybe even pause there for a day or two. Then we could get in there and take a look at CAR. But remember, don't misquote me. It's above that level. We'll be looking to initiate a new trade. We called that EXPEDIA yesterday. Hopefully, if you were day trading it, you at least initiated a day trade and made some easier money yesterday. You can see now it's getting up to that 96 level, which is the first level that we said we could day trade it up to that level or build a swing position up to that level. And then look, if it pauses above 96, 97 for a few days, then we can start building a position looking for a run to 116, 120. Hopefully you got involved with that with us yesterday as well. FedEx, my gosh, I don't know, it just keeps on chugging. And yesterday was another good day. If you long the swing trade from over here during this pause, you're sitting in a nice position right now as well. Disney is one that we called out prior to the market opening yesterday. And I've been watching this and talking about it pretty much every day since the earnings gap couldn't get through 133. Yesterday's pullback, last week's pullback into Friday's consolidation. We said this is the risk perfectly on that inside candlestick there. We said we're going to build the position up to 133 and add to that position when it gets above 133. So if you initiated the swing trade yesterday, along with us, you're sitting in some really, really nice waters right now. Home Depot, we called out last week to start building a position. It was one of the few stocks that had good earnings, went traded higher, pulled back, gave us a great opportunity, filled the gap, gave us a really nice entry. We're sitting in that one as well. Caterpillar, not yet, but interesting. It's back above 140. If you took the trade with us last week, that was not a profitable trade. We were looking for this exact price action where it got above 140, looking for a pause and then follow through. It did not. Getting back up to that level again, and a bullish gap is pretty interesting. So not yet. I want to see a little more confirmation, but keep it in your watch list. Dollar Tree, interesting one. You can see here plenty of room to go. Gap fill to roughly 108, maybe 109. Again, this is one of those trades where it makes sense, but because it's the first time getting through a level it's having a hard time with, definitely work that order. Don't go with full share size. It'll allow the stock to breathe a little bit more, and maybe you'll feel a little more comfortable in that trade. EAT has been one that we've been championing for about a week or so. And during this pause, we said initiate the first trade. We were looking at it here, exploded too hard. We said wait for it to pause. It's paused, and 45 is the first target. Hopefully you're in that one as well. And CRM. CRM is actually now, again, let's take a look at the longer term chart, at or near all-time highs again. The monthly chart still looks good at or near the highs, and breaking it down to the daily chart, we've now consolidated for a couple of days after a bullish gap 3-day run and paused. So we're looking to be long this stock again as well. And you can see it's actually trading higher already. So this is the importance of starting to build those positions with lower share size in stocks you know you want to be long, especially for a little bit longer term position, so that you're on the right side of some of these gaps. So that's the list for today. The activity in the morning has been really good despite the fact that it's the end of August. Don't make excuses in your head that it's August. That's why you're not making money. There's opportunity in there. Challenge yourself to be awesome today, and you'll be surprised what you find. Have a great day. If you have any questions, absolutely leave me a comment.